Okay, let's look at the safety key, exercise 611. The main thing I want to talk to you about here is drawing the isometric views because the previous two drawings were pretty simple as far as creating the isometrics. This one gets a little more complex, so I'm not going to draw the whole thing, but I'm going to give you some pointers to get you through it. And the easiest way that I find to draw isometrics is to start out with a box, the in the overall size of your object. So I'm on my construction layer. I've got ISO draft turned on, and I've got my ortho mode turned on, which will restrict all my lines to, the ISO planes there. So I'm going to start my line command. Oh, well, I said I was. Okay, line command. And I'm gonna pick a point right here and I'm gonna put it there. And this object is 4.7 long and it is 1.9 1.9 tall. All right. And now we'll start here and I need to change planes, so I'm going to go over, and it is 2.4 wide. Let me change that so I can go up. All right, now then, when you're dealing with ISO mode, offset doesn't work that well, but copy works great. All right, so now I've got a box that is the overall size of my object. So I can, and don't worry about my layers here or the colors, okay? Because I don't want you to get too freaked out over that. The template you've got, use the template you've got to work with. So now that I know where some of these things are, I can go ahead and start drawing in part of my object. And I'm just going to trace over some of this stuff. And this comes down to 1.12. Okay. And excuse me. When I get to drawing, I make noises, And that comes over 0.5. And it comes in 0.4. And goes over, watch your objects now, 0.2. And it comes back out the full width there, which I'm gonna make it long. All right, and so that's got the top of that. Now I can trim that, or let's try something new. I want to try the fillet command, and I'm going to say a radius of 0. Let's see if it works in ISO. Yes. Okay, so that's one way you can trim corners. Okay, so if you can copy lines to help you get this stuff. You can draw it based on your settings and stuff. Now let's look at the one going across. Let's go ahead and draw a line across there. And we know that that thing is 2.4. And okay, and so I could copy that one. Since this thing is, um, symmetrical left and right, I can do a lot of copying and save me some time or save me some calculating anyway. Okay, so that's got that, and then you can figure out how to do the rest of it. I want to get this bottom piece in right here. Now it's symmetrical, but it's also centered. Okay, so I can copy this construction line here. So I want to copy it. Let me change my plane. Okay, and see, I'm going to follow my object snap, and I'm going to want to put one there, but I want to come in that comes in 0.5. Okay, and then I want to put me one there at the center. And I'm going to go ahead and put one there just for giggles so I can copy it back. Or I could, oh, I've got a depth on that, so I can copy this one over 1.4. Okay, and so that's got where my lines are going to start. So and then I can take that one and copy it up. The height is 1.12. Oh, wrong plane. And I'm grabbing it right here at this point because that's just a nice straight line. I'm going to go up, so 1.12. And 0.4 that way. And I'm just going to bring this one out kind of long. Okay, so there's my top two corners. So if it's confusing to you, I think I can go ahead and trim those out. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the bottom. Okay. So now let's pop us another construction line in here. And I'm going to the midpoint there. Okay, so this line right here will be my the center of the V. Now that's what I'm wanting to draw now, is that V for you, because that's what we call an obliquing line or a non-isometric line. So you can't just measure it and place it. You need to know an X and a Y offset so that you can locate the two endpoints and then just connect them together. So we know that this point right here is the end of the V, and it's going to come back over and join this line at some point here. So we need to know that distance back. And so since I've already got this line right here drawn, okay, I can pull a dimension. All right, 1.2124. Let's go from here. That one's weird too. Wow. Those are some big dimensions. Okay, so we'll go with 1.2124. So what I'll do is take this line here and copy it. And I'm going to pull it back until I get my object snap. Let's change there. Okay, object snap. I'm going to go 2124? Yeah. Okay, and now I can draw. Where's my visible line? Oh, I have to turn off my ortho mode here to make it easier. And I'm going to go from there to there. Okay. So there's the bottom of the V. And I know it's 1.12 tall to the very top of it, so I can copy that up. So let's turn ortho back on. Let's go copy. And say I'm just getting a snap so that it stays constrained going up. And I'm going to go up 1.12. And that's the very top corner. So let's trim that back. Okay. Now we know we've got a little notch there at the end. So what I'll do is I'll copy this line down. And then it comes down 0.44. And then we know the top of the notch coming back in is 0.76 back. So let's see, do we need that? I'm going to leave that. So I'm going to copy this line up. To right there, the top surface. And I want to copy that back the 0.44. And let's see, where's a good point for me to snap to? Hey, I'm just going to pick that point there since it's on a line, and I'm going to come back, get me an object snap to go 0.44. All right, and so there is where that little line will come in. So let's trim that, align up from there down to there. And I'm just going to trim that and delete that one. So there's the front side of that. I can put a visible line there. All right, now I need to know where all this stuff changes over here on the back side. So let's take this one, and I'm going to copy it. Up to there, since that's where my V intersects at. Guess I shouldn't have trimmed that one back yet, should I? I think it connects right there. So let's try that. Oh, turn my ortho mode off. I shouldn't have trimmed that back yet. I got it. There's my point. Okay, so now I can draw my line from here down to there. And we know it gets cut right across there, so we can put a line across there. And we know that that comes down to this level right here. I hope this isn't getting too confusing for you. And then we know it comes from there and joins to that point right there. So let's turn ortho off. Line from there to there. That look right? I'm gonna, yeah, this line right here is kind of throwing me off in my visuals, so I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna copy this one down just to check. Yeah, that angle runs up right. Okay, and so now I can trim okay, so that's how you would work out that non-ISO line stuff. Now then, the hole over here, we need a center line for it, and the hole is going to be an ISO circle. Let's see, I'm at 16 minutes. Okay, I'll finish this one out and then split it when I upload it. We need to know the center marks for those things. And let's see, you don't have to delete your construction lines, and I'd really rather you not delete them. I'd rather you keep them so that I can look at them and it helps me to grade. Oh, I can trim that. I just saw that. Sweet. Okay, so I need to know where the center of my hole is going to go right here. And I know it's 1.38 down from here and 0.56 up. So I'm going to copy turn my ortho back on. And what did I say? 1.38. And yeah, these are on visible layers right now, but I'm just doing that to copy them. And so I'll select them. I'm going to go ahead and, I tell you what, just to make it easier for you to see, I'll put them on the center layer, just so you can see them better. Okay, so that is the center point of my hole. Now, in isometric views, we do isocircles or ellipses. Okay, and so here's the way you do it. You toggle your F5 key, make sure your cursor is on the correct plane, surface plane. And then on the keyboard, you type EL for ellipse. And then in your options, you choose I for isocircle. And then you click the center of your hole. And as you start drawing it out, you'll type in the radius. In this case, the radius is going to be 0.25. Or, reading the command line down there, you can hit D for diameter and type in your diameter. Okay, and so now that made your ellipse, your isocircle, the correct size. Okay, so now let me turn that off. Okay, now I didn't finish that because you can finish that easily yourself. That, I'm looking at this, that doesn't look far enough back. Maybe, did I type in something wrong? Let me check it. I did, I typed in 0.44, that's how deep it is, and it should be 0.76. My bad. Yeah, should have been 0.76 back. My bad. I will put a note in there for you to watch out for that. Okay, if you've got questions, send us an email, okay?